A Texas National Guard soldier is feared dead after risking his life and jumping into the Rio Grande to save illegal immigrants, who we now know were drug smuggling suspects. It's a story you've seen here, but likely nowhere else, as the mainstream media has largely ignored the story. Former U.S. Border Patrol Chief Rodney Scott is here to react. Rodney, it's so great having you here today. Good morning. How frustrating is it for you to know that really outside of Fox News and some conservative media outlets, virtually no one has covered the death of this hero? I think one mainstream media outlet covered it for 22 seconds, the rest zero.
It's extremely frustrating. It's demoralizing to the Border Patrol agents that are down there, the National Guard, the Texas DPS. And it's really frustrating to local community members. I've talked to a few this last week, even as far as New Mexico, and the lack of coverage, the lack of caring is just mind-boggling to most. And, Biden said he was going to have a more humane border. This is not more humane in any way, shape, or form.
No, there is nothing compassionate about this policy at all. Now we're hearing that this soldier actually saved drug smugglers. And that is the issue here, that we don't know who's coming across the border. And so many times they're saving children, they're saving pregnant women, they're saving young and old men. But in this case, we're talking about drug smugglers.
Yeah, I think it really highlights the complexity of the border. You know, some people want to talk about the border and only show pictures and call people asylum seekers. They show the families coming across. But the entire border is controlled by the cartel. Nothing crosses that border without the cartel controlling it. And agents have no idea who they're encountering until actually they have hands on. And our borders are completely and totally out of control now. We keep talking about this wave of migration if Title 42 goes away. That wave is already here, and there's criminals and there's terrorists mixed in. Our nation's at risk, and nothing stays at the border. It's going to the town where your viewers live in right now. They go everywhere, and the Biden administration just ignores it, and then doesn't even have the courtesy to acknowledge the death of this soldier.
No, it's unbelievable, especially when you look at the amount of time. We've talked about this morning, Rodney, the amount of time that was spent on a false story about Border Patrol whipping Haitian illegal immigrants. It turned out to be false. They never apologized, the administration, for that. And now we see this absolute ignoring by the press and by the Biden administration and Democrat lawmakers in general of what happened to this poor soldier. I mean, do we know, his kin has been informed? Do we know anything further about this? Or are they just still searching for the body? What's the latest?
The latest information I had from Texas is they are still searching. I'm not directly involved in the notification, so I won't go any farther with that. I do know that both Texas DPS and the governor's office, the National Guard office, is heavily involved, but I don't have any other follow-up information on that. This is another travesty that could have been prevented if we would have just continued to secure the border like we had in every prior administration. That this administration just completely walked away from America, walked away from border security.
Yeah, it's an absolute tragedy. There's no question about it. And as you rightly mentioned, we have flights that were going out just yesterday in the middle of the night, dropping people off all over this country with no information being given to mayors or governors of who and what. It's done undercover, meant to be away from the eye of the public. So clearly they know the public doesn't like this, but they're doing it anyway. And now we see this horrible, horrible tragedy. Well, we will honor that young man, and until we find his body, we'll be praying for him and his family. And we thank you, Rodney Scott, for joining us this morning and bringing attention to just the lack of respect, especially for law enforcement who defend our borders.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Have a good day.